After finishing a big, long RPG, I like to go back to games that I've played and finished before, just to mix things up and prevent video game burnout for myself. This time I decided to replay my most hated game of all time, Sonic Adventure 2, for, well, the Dreamcast in this case. This is the first time I've played the Dreamcast version. I played the GameCube Sonic Adventure 2 Battle Port to begin with, and that's the only version I only really played. I got the Steam version for like next to nothing in a Humble Bundle at one point, but I never played that. So now in order to revisit it, I booted up my Dreamcast down there and I enjoyed a complete hero playthrough of Sonic Adventure so far. Sonic Adventure 2, as I said, was one of my most hated games of all time. I played Sonic Adventure, and Sonic Adventure is one of those special games that has a special place in my heart, and I just love it, everything about it. Then I wanted more, Sonic Adventure 2, I played it for the first time, and I got none of what I wanted from a Sonic Adventure sequel, because Sonic Adventure 2 goes into a very different direction. My favorite part of the first one, the complete freedom of movement. The Sonic gameplay was crazy. You could fly all over the place. Tails was even better. They took out Tails from the sequel, at least his gameplay. And I thought they doubled down on things that I really didn't enjoy about the first game too much. First one had this open world where you explored the area and found new levels and everything. And you could talk to the NPCs and live in this Sonic Adventure world that they have built. Sonic Adventure 2 is straightforward, one level after the other. There's no overworld. And that is one of the things that killed this game for me back when I played it for the first time. Which wasn't at launch. I didn't play this back in the day. I maybe played Sonic Adventure in 2009 or 10. And then very soon after I played this for the first time. Completely blind. I didn't know what the gameplay was going to be. And it was a huge disappointment back then. Now, revisiting it, I understand what they were trying to do with reconfiguring the whole gameplay. The linear storyline and lack of open world really made it possible to do this big scope storyline that they were trying to do. You know, where you go to outer space, you talk to the president, you go into the desert, you go into the jungle, all of that. A lot of those things happened in Sonic Adventure, but they were more like text tacked on there. And they wanted to go to outer space. They tried to have these different areas spanning the entire globe, having this big Sonic adventure. And I realized that putting all of that into a coherent overworld just probably wasn't possible with the technology they had back then. So now that I'm replaying it, I figured I get it. Like, I get it. I don't like it, but I get it. Also, Sonic Adventure 1 was all over the place when it came to gameplay. It had, 5 or 6 different gameplay styles. Sonic Adventure 2 dumped it down to 3, and they tried to really flesh out each style of gameplay. They kept the Sonic gameplay for Sonic and Shadow, they kept the Knuckles gameplay for Knuckles and Rouge, and they kept the Gamma gameplay for Eggman and Tails in this one. And that really blew my mind. Like, why would you replace the fantastic free flying gameplay of Tails with more Gamma? But I get it, Tails was too similar to the normal Sonic gameplay, and broke a lot of the levels in there, and I understand that they wanted to keep Tails as a playable character, but wanted it to, adjust to one of the gameplay styles they were trying to go for. I also understand that back then people wanted more adult, like shooter games, and that's why they put in the Gamma gameplay back in the day, and probably why they tried to put it in here again, and really fleshed it out with a combo system as well. So looking back at it and now replaying it, I understand a lot of the choices. I still don't like them, but I understand what they were going for in this one. I really wanted the overworld back back in the day. I really wanted to live in that Sonic Adventure world, and I didn't get that with this one. What I got was a greatly improved Chow Garden. The Chow Garden is something that I never really interacted with in Sonic Adventure, because it was out of the way, like in the hotel you had to go to an extra area. Because this one doesn't have the overworld, you unlock the Chow Garden after every level. You go there automatically, you interact with your Chow, then you move on to the next one. And it's greatly improved. This is the original version, not the battle version, so a lot of the features just aren't in there. For example, you cannot see your Chow stats. You have to actually take out the VMU and check it on there. Now, my VMU, of course, the battery is dead, and I'm seriously considering getting the VMU 2 that is rechargeable and so on, just to play with the Chow gameplay a little bit more. But in this playthrough, it's the first time I've really interacted with the feature kind of in depth and tried to do a lot of the challenges you can do with the Chow. And it was a lot of fun, and I now get the gameplay a lot more. This introduced the ranking system, where you can go up to rank A based on how good your performance is. And I understand, like, it really has this great synergy of trying to beat the levels, improve your score, and at the same time collecting animals and capsules to level up your Chow and do progress there. It's really like the Chow game is actually like the background game, and everything else, like the proper levels, are just the mini games to actually power up your Chow. So if you try to play some Sonic Adventure nowadays, it's on PC, it's on Xbox and so on, I think. So you can probably get it for next to nothing. As I said, like, I never bought it, but I have it on Steam. So that's how most of my Steam games are. So if you want to play Sonic Adventure nowadays, I would recommend interacting with the Chow Garden as much as you can, because I think that's really the meat of the game, and it motivates you to keep going. Now, Sonic Adventure 2 has one of the best stories in the entire series. It was even adapted into the Sonic movie 3, and I thought they did a pretty good job basically adapting this storyline of Sonic Adventure 2 into the third Sonic movie. I really enjoyed that one, by far my favorite of the 3 Sonic movies. And the music is second to none in this one. The vocal tracks, like, perfection in soundtrack. The Eggman is playing in the background. I'm not sure if the camera picks up the audio here. Do we have anything more to say about this game? I know we discovered it. I must say I don't hate it as much as back then, because they really downgraded a lot of the things. They downgraded Tails gameplay. The radar in the Knuckles levels is terrible. You can only see one chart at a time, but they improved the exploratory gameplay, I think. So it works, it just makes it a lot more of a hassle to go through these levels. For example, the Sonic levels you can play through in, 3 minutes, maybe 4. The Knuckles levels and the Rouge levels, based on how lucky you are, can take up to 15-20 minutes. And I remember Battle also added this exclamation mark over the top of the head, so you know where to dig and search for the items. Not so much in this one, so it's a lot harder to find these. So it's kind of this roadblock, and the later levels are very vertical. That means you have to go from the top to the bottom all the time, because maybe the first one is at the top of the level, then the next one is at the bottom, and then the next one is at the top again. So you just climb up and down all the time. It's not as problematic as I remember it from back in the day, but it's definitely not enjoyable. I did something stupid. Well, stupid. I've been wanting to do this for a long time. For my Dreamcast collection, I now finally bought physical copies of Sonic Adventure 1 and 2. The US versions for my collection. All my Dreamcast games I have here are US versions. I sold all of my European games because the cases just... I don't want to deal with the thick, fragile cases of the European versions. As many of you may know, Sonic Adventure 2 is a very pricey game. Expect to pay $150 to $200 for a physical copy of Sonic Adventure on the Dreamcast. So I did that. I did a copy of Sonic Adventure 1. I can finally add that to my collection. And I told you, like, I sold a lot of the games specifically with the goal of buying these games and finishing the Dreamcast set for myself. So I have that and 2 other games I have my eye on in order to just finish that off and be done with the Dreamcast, basically. Another thing, the hero storyline took me like 4 hours to beat. The entire thing takes like 8 hours. So a nice game you can just slot into big RPGs. And I miss the times of short games that didn't have a big open world and side quests to explore for everything. Have you played Sonic Adventure 2? Have you hated the game so much? Like, I have a special connection to Sonic Adventure 2 because I just disliked it that much that I come around to liking it in some weird masochistic way. Do you have a game like this? Have you rediscovered your love for something like this? I wouldn't say I'm loving Sonic Adventure 2. I'm just disliking it a lot less than I did when I first played it. Thank you very much for watching. See you in the next video. Bye.